Hey! Hold on, I can't see the chat, I gotta set things up still. Hola. Hola. Try the new music. Test, test, test. Test, test.はい、はい、もしもし。お疲れ様です。ちょっと待って。ちょっと待ってですね。なんだっけ。マイクがちょっと。ライブストリーム始まると思った。ちょうどスタートのところで。はい、OK。いいよ、いいよ、いいよ。はい。はい。OK。F7 2つ ?F7 2つで ?OK。はい。OK、OK。全然。
smarter. I got nothing left to lose. You said you fall with me, no matter how far it goes. Down deep and under, we're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You're changing our colors again and again. I could never let you go. Something about you feels so different. Makes me wanna risk it. Every time I look at you, you pull me back into your river. Swim a little deeper. I don't need to breathe with my head underwater. I don't know the reasons, I'm not sure I really care. We're all of our demons, if they ever disappear, I will forgive you if you've forgiven me. We're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You're changing our colors again and again. I could never let you go. Something about you feels so different. Makes me wanna risk it. Every time I look at you, you pull me back into your river. Swim a little deeper. I don't need to breathe with my head underwater. I know it's not easy. I know we could dive in slow. We're not like the others. They do not need to know. You said you fall with me, no matter how deep it goes. With my head underwater.
Hold up. Okay, that's okay. Hey, what's up? Sorry, I had to take a business call. So, what's going on right now? I am going to work on some comic strips ideas. I'm going to. I had an idea for. In a dream last night. I had an idea for a comic. So I actually had two ideas for comics. I just kind of want to flesh out some of those ideas first, and then from there I'm just gonna draw whatevs and do some stuff. So we'll see. All right. Oh, also, I made some changes. I put the new music lineup. I don't know if it's any good, but let me know if the levels are okay or if they're too high or anything like that. So, but I'm making several different playlists. Oh, that's another thing too. I had an idea for looping, for some looping animations for audio for that, and I kind of want to experiment with that a little bit too. So it's going to be kind of like a chill wave kind of thing, but with animation. So the downtimes when I'm not streaming or releasing videos, I can have this playing. So it's the thing I'm thinking about. Anyway, time to get to work. Oh, everyone's speaking Spanish. At least you're not looking back in anger. I'm working out the stories too. I have 2 comic ideas that I'm working on. One is one I had a dream about it last night. It's kind of fused it together with the idea I had for a movie I wanted to make. So yeah. So I'm kind of repackaging it and kind of merging it with this one where it's kind of like I was thinking a lot about Uber and Uber Eats and stuff like that. And I was imagining a world where, you know, people getting gigs. Gig culture seems to be it's going to be the future. And I'm kind of in the middle of that right now, you know, trying to get gigs and whatnot. So it kind of made me think of what about a situation where, I mean, what if like AI was using it, gig culture? What if you were black? So it's kind of okay. So if you were getting blackmailed to do stuff, oh no, I shouldn't say that yet. That's the big turnaround later. Anyway, but basically, you know, you're on an app, you're looking for work because automation's taking all the jobs away, so people are trying to find jobs. And so there's an app out there that just gives you a bunch of odd jobs to do. But the odd jobs are actually jobs that, you know, the henchmen that for supervillains. So like, you know, the guys wearing the masks and, you know, the nameless goons. Anyway, so I was thinking about so why would people want to work as a villain, right? Why would someone want to work as kind of like a supervillain or like a henchman? Is because there's no jobs, and so because of that, you know, some people, what's your motivation for doing that? Some people do it because there's no work. Some people are being blackmailed into it. And then so I started thinking about in China right now. There's applications right. Oh yeah. Someone's actually saying it. Yeah. So basically, it ties in together with the Chinese app that's out right now. It's all about social, like your social proof is like how you get access to tickets and to just live your life, discounts on food. And I said, well, what if that was a way to blackmail people? So suddenly, you can't do everything, right? You know, so you pretty much do everything you can to raise your rank, so you can live a normal life, right? So then I started thinking, okay, let me think a step higher from that. So why would someone want someone to blackmail? Why would someone want to blackmail somebody into doing this? And then I started thinking about, you know, AI. And I said, what if this... Oops. So what if... Alright, so what if the singularity happened, right? AI is out there. It doesn't have a body. It doesn't have anything. You know, it needs people to do stuff for it. So like, Skynet's not going to be just Skynet right off the bat. It's going to have to go through several iterations. Like, what if the big trick robots understand how we're scared of them, or AI is scared of them? So what if they go, okay, what if you can massage and change culture or change the world, but not through like just death robots, but you're doing it with a little bit softer method, but you're using it through manipulation and gaming us. So like, you know, so say this AI has access to all your Facebook information, right? So it knows who you are, it knows who you want to be. So it knows your connection, it knows your friends, it knows your interests, it knows everything about you. And because of that, it goes, okay, I can basically manipulate. I can, like, if you're on a dating app, it chooses who you're dating. It shows, you know, who you might meet with, you know what I mean? So it might have some master plan for humanity or for itself. You don't know. I guess that's kind of the mystery I'm trying to, I'll figure out later. But, oh man. Okay, sorry. So you could be totally manipulated in a whole bunch of different ways. AIs could be manipulating for you, and then I start thinking even crazier. It's like, whoa, what if there's multiple AIs out there? So they might be fighting with each other, using us as their drones per se. You know what I mean? So all sorts of things can happen from this. So, but it's like, if you think about, there was a game a long time ago called Call of Cthulhu I played as a kid, and one of the coolest thing it taught me about story structure is it's like, you know, there might just be a weird kind of thing that happens. You know, it's like something mystery, some kind of weird mystery, and for some reason weird creatures are coming out of some death hole or whatever, right? And then you go one step over that, and you go, so why are these creatures coming from the death hole? And then it's like, well, it's because some demon or whatever. And you go, okay, so what's above that? And then it starts going into like ancient demons and, you know, elder gods and stuff like that. And you're like, what? So it keeps spiraling from a situation where you might just be walking down the street and you find like some crazy thing, scary thing coming out of a hole, some little bit of horror, but the reality is a lot bigger. So that's why I was like trying to, all right, well, let's think what the big picture is first, right? And then I'm going to scale down to our main characters, you know, that are just getting these gigs through like this app, right? So the surface of it is like, oh yeah, it's somewhere in the near future. It's a little bit cyberpunky, and you know, people are gonna have to do these weird kind of weird gigs through the app, and they don't know why. And it's kind of spiraling from there, you know, things like, and I started thinking more about Black Mirror, about like things where like, you know, like say you don't know how to fight, right? So you have to fight somebody. So they do stuff like where you can have, basically, imagine augmented reality where you can fight. You can fight people. It's like, okay, you know, in the Matrix, he's like, oh, now I know Kung Fu, right? But I was like, well, what if you don't, we're not jacking into somebody's brain like that, but what if you have something like like in Spider-Man or like in an Iron Man, you have like an augmented reality where you have HUD displays and stuff like that telling you what to do. So what if it was kind of like, it teaches you where to punch, fight, jump. It tells you all the things you need to do, right? And that can be all kind of clicked into the AI or whatever. So, but that's just some rough kind of thing. Like as far as like if combat is concerned, or like how do you go about navigating the world, because it's kind of like in a near future. So, but the real point is like the social implications of, you know, of like, what does it mean? Like, what makes us us? You know, what if our, you know, we're so connected right now. We choose to value ourselves so much by these apps and these different platforms. You know what I mean? That it will drive you to do whatever, you know, just to stay afloat. So we're almost a slave to it. And what does that mean? So lots of different social implications that can happen for us, like, you know, who are you meeting online? You know, what jobs are you doing? What are these jobs for? Like, you can get a gig. It says, hey, can you draw this, or could you make this? And you send it away. You get your coins, and that's it. You're good. But you don't know what it's part of. You know, it could be part of anything. So what if this AI or whatever, it could be making something malevolent, or it could be trying to shape humanity into something that's more acceptable of AI as being a life form. So think about it this way. It can get really trippy, because it'd be like, okay, so they choose to match people or put them in the same places with like-minded people who might have like-minded ideals and things like that, and they might have kids. We're thinking think about it like over generations, you could basically shape humanity into something that's more, you know, receptive to whatever your agenda is, right? So, and you can keep people apart that might not be, You know, it gets all kind of crazy. Like you can do so much with it. It's like really huge implications if you think about that. It's like if you're not thinking about a 20-year plan, think about like what changes you can do with humanity in like 100 years of social engineering. That's really interesting. It's kind of weird not social engineering, but really interesting questions. What does that mean? You know, but first I have to kind of build a framework for the world we're living in, some of the ideas and the themes, right? So like build the world, and then I'll build a theme for the story. You know, so I was thinking at one point, it's like, what if the AI is like kind of merged with somebody that uploaded their consciousness, and it kind of had this fuse. So it's like playing games, it's doing stuff that might be little remnants of the host that was originally the person that was before the AI kind of merged with the human or whatever. So maybe they were really into superheroes. So, you know, that's the reason why there's this kind of superhero motif with some stuff. I don't know. I'm still working it out. But like last night, I was dreaming and I woke up. I was like, oh man, let me write this all down and get most of this down. It took some time. I think you have to have some stuff stewing in the back of your head for a while, and then ideas beget ideas, and it kind of spirals from there. But it was kind of based on a movie idea I had, and then kind of moving forward into like a possible manga or who knows, animated series, who knows. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There's more to it too. Because like we don't know if whatever this AI entity is it bad? Is it good? You know, does it have our best interests at heart? What if it's like the only way to save humanity is by doing all this? You know, because of our nature, they got to breed it out of us or get us to do something. Like it creates this grand design, you know. And if that's the case, then you know, is that like a god in a way? You know. I heard like a quote recently. It said that humans are AI or robots' reproductive organs. That what they mean by that is saying that, you know, we're just so drawn to technology and, you know, keep pushing and trying to make iterations upon iteration, trying to make these things. But like, why are we so, you know, why if you put an iPad in front of a baby, are we just kind of, you know, drawn to it? You know, why are they drawn to it? Why are we such technophiles? You know, and you know, all these things we do we're just pushing forward, trying to create these kind of artificial intelligence, things like that. I don't know, but we're pushing ourselves towards that, and because robots, AI, all this stuff, they can't reproduce. You know, we're doing it for them. We're like, cause like, if you say like you have two purebred dogs, they make another dog. And then after time, because the DNA gets all messed up, the dog becomes sick because there's no introduction of new DNA or new kind of variations in it, right? So that's why mutts are so much more healthier than purebred dogs, because they have that kind of randomness in their DNA. So maybe, you know, the way if I'm getting, it's like I'm on drugs right now. But like, if it was up to a robot, there's not that X factor, right? But humans are that X factor. We're thinking of things and, oh man, I don't know. It's just interesting to see how you can start with this. It just there's a lot of questions, you know, and lots of different ways you can explore. But now that I've kind of holy crap, I kind of invented this world that we live in. You know what I mean? It's something near future. Who knows? People could be on Mars. It could be like Cowboy Bebop. Who knows? But that's the premise. That's the elder god part of all of it. You know, that's what's running through it. Maybe now it's time. Now that I got some of this out and this being on video, it'll help too. Now it's like, okay, let's scale it back. Let's bring it back down into like a narrative that we can tell. But I'm kind of excited about this world. It's really interesting. World building. I haven't done this in a long time. I guess I knew it was going to take a long time for me to get back in the not creative spirit, but just that kind of getting into those, I don't know, that headspace of something I used to do all the time, where, you know, building worlds, building ideas, and then, you know, thumbnailing stuff out, and then putting it in motion. I hadn't done that in a while, and so naturally, if you don't do it, you're rusty, right? But now it's like, okay, doing these streams and just fooling around, sketching, just it's kind of, you know, you get little get little embers of the fire, right? And you blow it and you try to get the fire going, and then eventually the furnace, and then you can go from there. But when it's been stamped out cold from being kind of burnt out and tired and all the other stuff, life, it's harder to start it up. But I think things are starting to slowly stoke up, and yeah, it's going. Anyway, so, but I kind of, and then knowing my odd sense of humor, I know what kind of feel I would like things to have. But the most important thing is build the world, and then work backwards, and then find the stories I want to tell in this world, in this universe, or whatever. So, because they say, you know, draw what you love, or things you're interested in, and I'm really interested in, you know, I'm really interested in you know, cyberpunk kind of stuff, technology, social stuff, and what it means to be human. You know, ideas of not God, but things like God. What is the future of humanity? Like, where are we going? What's it all about? You know. Also, you know, things about just trying to survive, trying to make a living, things like that. So that's where I'm at. That's a long explanation. I don't know. I'm talking this out loud. I'm gonna go back and read the comments, I guess below, and then see what's going on, because I can't see it right now. So I'll go back and read. But I just wanted to get some of the stuff out of my mind first, and just kind of jot down some ideas. Actually speaking some of this out loud, I can come back later and kind of do some scripting from there. But I kind of want to work out the first couple stories, and work out some beats, and then go from there. But that's not it. I have another idea. But all right, let me just think origami. All right, hold on. Let me see what's going on. Basically, Chinese reputation. Yes, that's exactly it. Cool idea from that. I dig the knowledge of this going down. What if Y2K was real? Cool. One second. Why am I getting all these emails like right now? Okay, sorry. Where was I? Interesting. Upward makes up in spiral. Yeah, that would be a cool video game. Well, the gig part of it, like where, you know, it's just like, it's like being on Uber Eats or something like that, right? Say you're like a bike rider, you get the job, comes in, pick up the food, deliver it to this location. So imagine it's like, okay, go to this location, all of a sudden a drone pops down, drops your costume, whatever you have to wear, or whatever you need for the gig, right? So it might be tools, you know, it might choose you depending on what it needs you to do, or train you to do for something in the future. You don't know, you might be leveling up that way. So anyway, so say like it says meet me on, it's drone says go to this location, like we'll say Main and First, right? At this warehouse at 4 p.m. So you get like a Google Maps kind of thing, you know, you walk to the location, you get to the location, and then a drone kind of meets you. You open the case and might have the tools you need for whatever this job is, right? And then it gives you a certain amount of time, and then it says that you have to do this at this amount of time, right? And so, say you do the gig, maybe you get money, maybe you get your rank up, whatever it is. But the whole thing is like you don't know what you're doing, you know. So it's kind of, you're doing these weird random gigs. So how does that affect your life, and can that affect your life, or how's it connected? We don't know, but we kind of know the root base idea of the world. So it might be to a bigger design, but you don't know what the design is, and you don't know who the people are. So like, you know, who's really running Google? We don't know. It could be somebody else, you know. Anyway. Oh, you guys just talked about that. Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Papa Robotic? Technology is an extension of our nervous system, right? And that it kind of goes around the way to the other way, like how we're an extension of, or a possible extension of, whatever this next phase of humanity might be. What protagonist would you to do? What protagonist do you do in the world? That is kind of like what I'm working out. I kind of want to draw like a girl for a second, so I kind of want to do a girl character. I just want to draw girls. In case you want to wait there, get someone who's a bit of world with my drawing sucks. Tell me your advice. Just realized. Show. I just showed you. Yeah, this Hotline Miami. I never played that. I wish I did. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm kind of working on. So the other idea, I had an idea for like a short. I was thinking about Pokemon. And where is it? I drew notes in the morning. Where was it? But it was like a battle type, shonen type a manga where it's like people are using, it's basically a giant, it's like nano material. It's a sheet of paper, right? So imagine like you're battling, but instead of like Pokemon or whatever, like basically it folds into the creature or whatever you need. So it's basically like origami, right? So like this bird character that's gonna fight whatever for you, or then this whatever arena man like folds into a bird and then they fight. So I'm still working that out, but I like the idea of like a sheet of paper that can change into whatever. It could be like your psychic fighter or whatever. It's also your defense. It's your armor. You know, it's everything. So like, it's kind of got a weird checks and balances in it too, right? So like say you cut the paper in half, right? And then you can use half of that paper. Well, we're just calling it paper, right? Of this material, this nano material, right? It cuts in half, and then it folds up and becomes your armor, and the other part folds up to be your weapon, right? Or whatever, like shooting out, stuff like that. which is kind of like, it's kind of cool because like you have to kind of balance all this stuff, right? And so, you know, say like you're getting hit with a super hard attack, so well then you would have to switch up. You might have to quit some of your offensive stuff and then do more of a defense, right? So you'll like be making like this kind of like dome structure to help prevent the damage stuff. But the whole thing is it's just like checks and balances, which is kind of cool. The idea of like this transforming parts of paper that can just be like anything that you can imagine. So that's the whole thing. That's kind of what kind of got me on this other. I went back to the AI idea. So it's like where the only limit is to, it's like Green Lanterns, right? The only limit is your imagination, right? So it's a little bit like, oh yeah, okay. It's like Green Lanterns with like a nano, with like paper, but it's not paper. It's like a nano material, right? So it's like how Tony Stark can make his suit out of nano materials, right? But instead you're thinking of this, we're using the motif of like a sheets of paper, which can kind of look kind of cool. I don't know how things shoot or anything like that. I got to work that out. But I like the idea of, so there has to be something what makes the protagonist kind of like special, or what makes them like do something that they can do that no one can else do. And maybe it's developing a new way to expand the limits of their, you know what I mean? They're because like say like boxing, right? So you're boxing was really good for a long time doing a certain way, and then someone goes, hey, I figured out how to do the rope-a-dope, which is like kind of broke the mold of, or it was a new idea of a way to fight, you know, tiring out your opponent. Or, you know, everyone's doing, you know, kung fu or traditional like karate, you know, traditional martial arts, and then all of a sudden MMA comes in and throws everything on its head. You know what I mean? It's a new thought process, right? So maybe I just need to wait for I'm trying to think of like, what does the main protagonist do that kind of flips it on its end, right? That opens it up to change the status quo, you know? So I was like thinking, well, what if it has to do with concentration and like, you know, something like how you write, maybe it's how you write the code that controls, you know, whatever the link between the nanomaterial and the fighter, you know. So maybe it's something to do with that, or maybe like, or they figure out a way to subdivide, right? So it's like, have you ever seen websites where they do like a video in the background, and they don't do it as much as they do now, but for a while, because of bandwidth, you couldn't have super high big videos for your banner ad. So they did this trick where they would basically take out every other pixel, but it looked like it was kind of grayed out a little bit, but what it was really doing was reducing the file size in half by showing every other pixel. You could still read the information, right? But it made things bigger, right? So what if the person figures out a way to do something like that, right? Like they can subdivide on a certain level, and that means they can have more things. You know what I mean? That might be it. I don't know. That was the idea 2 days ago, and I didn't have much time to work on it then. But the basic idea of having this kind of battle system, right? Like a Pokemon or Digimon or one of those card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or whatever. But it's all like with like kind of origami paper, nano paper kind of thing like that, for just building stuff. Like I had an idea long time ago. I had an idea for a comic dealing with nanomaterials. I mean, I'm talking about, this is like 1990s, like when I was still in school. When I was a kid, I had this idea for this kind of nano thing. So I don't know. It kind of resurfaced, and it got me thinking. So let's see what's on the chat. Yeah. Storing loadouts. Yeah, that was a thing. So that was the thing. Like, I thought could be kind of a link to the past, right? So maybe you can only have a certain amount of loadouts per fight or battle. And why are people battling? Is this a form of information, like of entertainment, things like that? But the idea of loadouts, like how many loadouts can you have? Like Pokemon, you're allowed to have a certain amount of Pokeballs when you fight, right? So what does that mean? Do I attack it that way? I don't know. This is the thought idea. This is the thought process. So we're still working all that stuff out. But different loadouts was definitely something I was thinking about. Then I was thinking about like taking something from the past, right? So maybe the main character, maybe their grandparents or mom or dad or something, they've taken the theme of origami, right? Maybe they have this book of all these really crazy complex origami, or complicated folds that have been lost through time. People don't know these kind of traditional techniques, and it might have been traditional stuff from their grandparents. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of, they win the fight because of a design passed down from their grandparents or something like that. I don't know. It could be something a little bit of heartstrings kind of going on with it. So I don't know. I gotta work that out. But it's just just some rough ideas. So that's the other one. So at least I got that idea out there into the universe. But that's what I got so far. I hope you guys. I didn't. It's interesting to see what you guys think. So, and then they can't say I stole it from anybody. But at least it's been documented that this is my idea I've been working on for who knows how long. So let's see. Beam weaponry. I don't know how to. I don't know how to handle the beam stuff. That's why I'm kind of curious how they handled it with in Iron Man. It's kind of like how are these nano machines? How are they making these kind of things? So maybe something that has to do with the loadout, or like how you have to, because you see those robot battles, like they have robot competitions in China right now. It's really big, but these engineers, they go out and they make these robots with a certain amount of time. Maybe it's something like that. So they have a certain amount of time, they make their robots and they put it in this giant battle arena. So maybe it's almost like a team of people, like a team of kids via their school perhaps, and they go to these competitions. And then it's kind of you can have this whole kind of like not drama but kind of story, some kid story in there too. So they're building their robots, right? So maybe some of the programming is like, how do you have a certain amount of power or cells or nanomaterials, so you have to use physics and engineering and whatnot to program how to build these power systems through the nanomachines. How are Tony Stark is doing it? I gotta look that up. But maybe it's a team. Yeah, I like the idea of a team. It's not so solo. The last story was more of a individual thing. Well, of course, there's gonna be like the last story. Like back when I was living in Chiba, I had this whole idea of like, it was basically I wanted to do a series that followed, like in Power Rangers, the Goops. It was just about one of those Goops or Shockers as they're called here in Japan. That's kind of the reason why I got this toy a long time ago. So it's like, what's their story? These guys, what's their story? So it kind of got me thinking about them. Like, what if these were people, What does that mean? And then when I did my video series Villains, it started making me think more. That was kind of what got me to think about villains, where I wanted to make a mockumentary about supervillains, and made it like The Office. Man, this takes me back. Anyway, that's what's up. Kamen Rider. Yeah, you gotta talk it out. You gotta talk it out. That's the only way I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah, my friend, he's making a series. You should check it out. Check out Strega. I was on a stream. I said hi to him on the stream the other day. But he does a lot of Kamen Rider like stuff because he wanted to be the next Kamen Rider, and he's a really good action director. So if you get a chance, check him out. Garage Pro. It's a little. He does do some 18+ stuff, but he's really talented fight choreographer. Yeah, so if you get a chance to check his stuff out, check it out. Oh, you saw some Stray Guys. Yeah, bueno. So we go back to early days of the YouTubes. Definitely not NSSW. Definitely not, but he's quite talented. And yeah, good stuff. And he works with Kimura-san. He's been in a bunch of my stuff too. Really good guy. Check out Yakazombie, my personal favorite of his. Brilliant. So, very talented dude. Yeah, it's so funny. So when I released it, my AD was like, "Oh, this reminds me of what we do in the shadows." I had no idea that this was a thing, and it turned out I was making it the same time that was coming out. So, but I loved mockumentaries, like Waiting for Guffman and all that stuff. Like, I love those kind of movies. I thought it would be something easy for me to make at YouTube Space. And then it turns out they were making What to Do in the Shadows around the same time. So, but yeah. So, what they say, like, I think things get in the zeitgeist and it's just out there in the ether. But so I saw Spider-Man yesterday as a treat after such a crazy week. And then, like, they did a lot of the jokes I was talking about post snap. And I was like, damn it, I can't use those jokes in my comic anymore. So I was like, that's why you need to get, I shouldn't be slacking. I need to get these things out as soon as possible. So I learned my lesson there. That's kind of stuff, and I like you. Art YouTube, it'd be nice to get check out my channel. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I don't know, but those are the ideas that we're working with right now, and yeah, let's make some stuff. But first, let me turn on the AC again. I talked way too much again this stream, so I'm gonna probably be super quiet while I'm working on the ideas and kind of building the world. I do have to answer a couple emails, but you guys are free to chat amongst yourselves. We got the new playlist up and going. We got another playlist that I will release later. So if the audio levels are really crazy, let me know if we need to bring it down. And yeah. But actually, this is really good. We talked out a lot of these ideas, so it kind of helps. So, time to go to work mode. let me answer these emails really fast. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll switch to break time. Ooh, didn't have that up. Go to break time, and I will do this. I want to do some animation loop stuff too. So I had some ideas I want to write down. I'll do that. I think I started writing some of them down, but I want to write those down before I forget today. I did it on my iPad, so anyway, I gotta answer these emails. Yeah, man. Been working. There's more. There's a lot more than I've been working on. Like honestly, the hard part is coming up to the ideas. Now it's like we can actually start working on building characters and writing stuff. Actually, hold it. Yeah. So the next thing I got to do is we gotta choose our story, we gotta choose a theme, and then we start doing some character building, work out the characters, then we gotta do environments. There's so much we gotta do. So it's theme, story, story, theme, build out the characters, and build out the environments. Yeah. And then we can work out, so before that, actually in between there, we can work out the story beats. So there's still, to do this right into, oh shoot, I can turn off this, I guess. So I think where a lot of creators get in trouble is they don't do the proper work ahead of, they don't do the kind of legwork that we're doing right now, and then they end up writing themselves into a corner, right? So the trick is like you want to leave some stuff leave it kind of so there's wiggle room. You can have explore and try new things within the world that you create, but you can't have it too loose because you end up writing yourselves into corners and you end up with like a show like Lost, right? You don't know the ending. So doing all this stuff, know how it begins, know the world, know how it begins, and know how it ends, right? And then work out clearly what each character's motivations are and the rough story arc. You can fill in all the gaps in between, but as long as we figure a lot of this stuff out early now, it's gonna save a lot of problems in the future, right? So it's a slow start, but we won't run into problems later, right? Because it will have worked out. The roadmap will have been made, and we work it out. So no, Lost was really good for the stories, but they didn't know how to end it, right? So the ending came out kind of wonky, right? So trust me, it's a good series. The guy's brilliant. Anyway, but the thing is, like, when people say it, you have to look out for endings like Lost. What they're trying to say is that where the ideas and the individual episodes were good, but the whole package wasn't tied up the way it could have been tied up a lot more elegantly, right? So I don't know if it needed to be run through other people, you know what I mean, to kind of make sure it was kind of fleshed out right. Oh yeah, you get it. Okay. So, but Game of Thrones, I think, is a different situation. Like Game of Thrones, I don't blame the creators of that. I think people got a little butthurt because of the ideas of what they thought it would be, right? And the reality is, all these things should have happened. They were gonna happen. It might not have happened in the time frame that we wanted it to, or in the ways we wanted to. But Daenerys was always gonna turn into the Mad Queen, because George R. R. Martin already decided that was the direction that they were gonna go. Maybe they needed another season to show her. I think if they had another season to kind of slowly show her change a little bit better, I think people would receive that better. Personally, I was okay with it because I saw it coming. Because if you go back and watch it now, it all makes sense. You know what I mean? But a lot of people are just getting into Game of Thrones now, so they don't know the history. They say they know the history, but they weren't reading the books like, guys like me, right? And that's another thing too. The books are different from the show, right? So people are trying to tap on things that are in the books that aren't in the show, right? So all these things that they're expecting, right? They're expecting the Nymeria wolf pack to be fighting and stuff like that. It's like, well, yeah, it would have been good, but that wasn't promised, you know what I mean? So you have to realize that nothing is guaranteed, And the irony is like, if you say, oh, this is definitely going to happen, then people say, oh, it was so predictable. I saw this the whole time, And it's like, it's a lose-lose situation, right? You're damned if you make it something new and unexpected, and then you're damned if you keep it straight to what people thought it was going to be, So it's like, well, what do you do? So I was like, no, I can't. It's not their fault. He didn't finish the damn books. You know what I mean? They did the best with what they had. They made choices, and sometimes the choices maybe weren't the best choices to make. But was I entertained? Hell yeah, I was. Was I kind of disappointed in ways? Yeah, I was. I wanted to see Jon Snow fight the Night King in a way. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? It's not my show. I wish I would have seen stuff like that, but it's so. I was entertained. So, yeah, I think people got really butthurt about Daenerys because people were naming their babies Daenerys. all that stuff like that. And then, you know, her crazy ass is gonna be crazy the whole time. And the other thing is, like, people were so mad at, like, Jon Snow about, like, just marry your cousin, marry your aunt. Yeah, you marry your aunt. Does that seem normal to you? Of course not. They might be cool with her, but me marry my aunt? Hell no. So, which I thought was kind of funny. Is like people were so mad about that. I was like, yeah, it's gross. Don't do that. That's nasty. That's nasty. You're just gonna make more crazy people. But people were really upset about that. And I was like, nah, dude. When he was like, nah, I can't do that. It's like, yeah, I mean, they already did it. I don't know. Should he have taken the L and done it for the world? Yeah, probably. It would be a lot less dead people, you know. But, you know, I get it too. It's like, you. So, I don't know. Especially after there's some things, and like people, I don't know, man. People pile on. They love to pile on. It's a shame. Like, I think no creator chooses to make a piece of crap. No, like nobody in the right mind goes, look, I want to make something that's really horrible. You know, I just want to make everyone mad and get the internet up in a heated, you know, mad and stuff. Who wants that? Nobody wants that, dude. Nobody wants that. So that's why it's so foolish to say that. I mean, people, I don't know. As a creator or anything, you or director, your job is to direct where you want to see it go with the material you have. You make decisions. Sometimes you make good decisions, so that's why things get really big. And then other times you make mistakes, and that's the way it goes. I think the problem is when you're dealing with all these giant properties that never end, you know, fandom works against you. Because you can't make new original pieces. You can't go in interesting directions because people have bought into these things. It's like, I think this is the reason why I hated American comics for the longest time, and why I gravitated towards Japanese manga is because characters couldn't die. Like, you know, they didn't. I mean, it's U.S. recently, like, well, not recently, but okay, think of it this way: how many characters in Marvel really die? Like, for real die? Like major characters? It's rare. It's once in a blue moon, right? You have these overlapping story arcs that go on forever. You know, I love Spider-Man. I don't want to see Spider-Man go away, but Jesus, it's been going on forever. I still want to see them, but the thing is, they can't be like, all right, Spider-Man's done. We're wrapping it up. We're done, right? No, there's too much money. It's too much invested in these IPs. But I love it. I love it, you know? So the thing I liked about a lot of Japanese runs, also like in like a lot of UK shows, is that there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end, and they wrap up series and they end it. Now, are all of them like that? No, but the majority of them actually do wrap things up, and I think that's really good to have. Just, it's a good way to get new ideas out there and new stories out there. That being said, no, not that being said, but I think that's the reason why we get in so much trouble with series like things like Star Wars, right? Because everyone wants, you know, Han Solo. Everyone wants to be a Jedi. Now there are more. I think there's a lot of cool stories within those universes, right? Like, I'm really interested to see what happens with the Mandalorian, but I almost wish they didn't have the Boba Fett armor, because that's the thing. It's fandom is making it. They're putting boxes around things. You can't explore, you know, you can't go super wide. Like, honestly, if I never see a Jedi again, I'm okay with that. Like, I would like to see many series, like stuff in the Star Wars universe that have no Jedis. And I think what makes me more excited about the Marvel Cinematic Universe when it starts getting kind of like when they start going into space, the thing that I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy is it could be so many different things because there's not that heavy baggage of Jedi, Sith. You know, it could be pretty weird space pirate stuff. That's cool. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Fandom, I think, works against us. I think fans are the new bullies, honestly speaking. The new, it feels like, yeah, like they're the new bullies. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it feels like. I don't know. Like when I was a kid, this stuff was not mainstream. It was like the fringe, you know? The fringe, and then now it's like so mainstream, and it's like we become the people that we hate, right? Like, so, like, you know, we loved all this nerd shit. I should say that before I get demonetized anyway. We loved all this, you know, this geeky stuff, this nerd stuff, and then suddenly, all these stories we've been telling people, oh, this is really cool. You know, you should really check this stuff out. This is really interesting. And no one would have it, you know. It was like, that's cool. You know, we're gonna live in our world. We're gonna enjoy it. And then all of a sudden, people are like, whoa, this is really interesting because they put it. They started like, yeah, like you see things like Blade or Road Perdition, not Road Perdition, whatever. But it was like basically they were comic book stories, right? But people didn't know they were comic book stories, but they were like, oh, this is a good story. It's like, yeah, this is the whole thing we were trying to tell you. Like a lot of the Dark Horse stuff that was coming out, you know, Ghost in the Shell was huge, and that was basically they stole that. The Matrix stole so much from Ghost in the Shell, but the thing is, people weren't feeling it. But now, people understand. You know, people understand the power of it. It's like, you know, it's the same thing. Books are turned into movies, and same with comic books. You know what I mean? So now that it's become mainstream, I don't know. It's different. It's not the same. Do I still love it? Of course, but I don't know. There's too much money involved. Things they can't let franchises die or just end because there's too much money involved. You know, that's why it just keeps going round and around and around again, and there's no ends. You know, but we'll keep buying tickets. So, and then you know, just angry nerds, honestly speaking. And that part just makes me sad and a little bit disgusted because it's like everything we were against before they've become. So it kind of makes me think about human nature a lot. That's kind of goes into some of my other stories I was thinking about too. It's like, you know, I think the people that we call villains or the bad guys, they're all humans. Like, it goes. Human nature is like, it's not so much about good guys and bad guys. I think it's the thing about people in power and the people that the haves and have-nots. Like, maybe it's about, you know, if you have the power, you want to keep the power. But if you don't have the power, you want the power. But then you get the power, then you want to keep the power, and you don't want to let power go. Same thing, but you could say that, like, you know, jocks or whatever had the power, right? And then there's one of the power, you know, they struggled. Now they got the power, and they're like, we're gonna keep the power, and then they become the assholes that the quote-unquote jocks were before, right? So it tells me that human nature says that's the real thing. It's just the label. I mean, it's just a label. It's really about the haves and have-not. What makes me special? You know, people want to belong to a group. I'm better than you because X, right? You could say that about religion. I pray differently than you. That's why we're better. But it's all the same. Like even within religion, like if that's your jam, you know, basic religions pretty much all say respect your parents, don't be a douche, so respect your community and your elders. Don't be a douche. Try to be a good person, and you know, just have a good life. That's basically all religions, you know. Now it's like, well, you gotta on this one you gotta stand on your head, twirl around 3 times, and not eat beef jerky. And this one you gotta pray, doing this, and you gotta, and you know, and people fight wars because of the minutia of, I'm not minutia, but all the little stupid ceremonial aspects of whatever they think their religions are. But the bases are all the same. It's just insane. But that's what I'm realizing, that, you know, a lot of stuff is the same. It's just the difference between haves and have. People like human nature is just that. Maybe that's what the basis of human nature is. I don't know. Maybe that can be. I can go into a story somehow that is about how. Yeah, because it's like. Like, okay, say you're like a rapper, right? Oh, no, I wasn't gonna. I can't get too political, or I'll just get crazy. But it's okay. It's like when I see people, they go, "No immigrants." All right, the people, they migrate over. It goes over one generation, and then they go, all right, we're shutting the door behind us. They go, no, we're immigrants, but you guys are immigrants too. You know what I mean? Like all these, some people are just trying to, you know, have a better life. Are all people bad? No, but I get what they're trying to do. They're just trying to make a better life for themselves. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone's good, but I understand the base idea. And so it's so like weird and ironic when I see those same, like, you know, groups want to shut the door behind them after they're in and be like, nah, we're in, but we're cool. But all these other people that are trying to get, nah, screw them. But they were in the same situation like a generation ago or two, right? And there's a weird kind of hypocrisy in that. And that's like how I'm saying, like, with like the nerd stuff, right? Like we were shunned before, but now, you know, and we're in. We're the hot stuff, and we want to shut the door behind us, you know? I remember, it's so crazy. Like, I remember, like, this girl I love. And we're going to the comic book store. She wouldn't even step foot in the comic book store, right? Wouldn't even step foot. She said, I'll stay in the car. Ugh, you know, I don't get comic book stuff. I was like, cool. So I went and got my books, and we went back out. And now, like, her kids love all this. I was like, oh, I love all this stuff like that. And in my head, I'm like, I remember when you wouldn't even walk inside a comic book store with me because it was too, you know, nerdy, or it's just comic books, you know what I mean? But now you're all about it. So it's just, I don't know. I've lived long enough that I can be like, yo, that's pretty messed up. Not messed up, but it's just like, yeah, human nature, I guess. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Snake eating its own tail, but that's the one's popular. Human doesn't want to be left out. It's group dynamics. Yes, it is very much group dynamics. It's this is like kind of about the whataboutism, and it all kind of taps into that. Like, we all want to feel validated, and then we all want to feel like we're special. But we're not all special, really. We're all the same. We're all, you know, some people might be able to do something a little bit better than others, but does that make them any less of a human or better than you? No. You know, we all deserve to be, you know, loved and cherished and all this. That's the human spirit, right? But the other part of us goes, no, I'm super special. Honestly, that's just not the case. So, I mean, you're already special. The fact that you were born, right? Out of all the spermies, you made it out. You're the lead swimmer. You swim the fastest. you're the fastest of the swimmers, and you you know, that's special, you know. If you really think about it, you made it this far. It's special. I'm ranting. Why am I ranting? I should be making stuff. No, but this is good. This is good. I'm working stuff out. The philosophy of stories and I don't know. Like I've been watching a lot of stuff about manga artists, and a lot of these people they do a lot of thinking about what the story is. Well, I mean, of course, they think about what the story is, but the human condition is not just about the art. It's about the message or the question. It's more about the question, I think. And that's what's made it a little bit harder for me to start this new set of ideas, because like I realized that, okay, if I want to be like a dope ass creator, I gotta think of the question. What kind of questions am I trying to ask and look for answers? And will I find answers through this comic? It's like I realize a lot of them don't. They leave a little bit of wiggle room for the discovery of new ideas and directions that they couldn't have seen, and that's what keeps it interesting for them being a creator. And that kind of was kind of exciting to me, that it's like, okay, no, you kind of set the course, but you leave yourself, you know, a little bit of wiggle room to find new, go down different alleys, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I think when I was younger I didn't know what I wanted to say or if I had anything to say, but I think the older I get, the more I see, I'm seeing certain topics are more important to me than I realize. And I guess the only way you realize this is through like experience, you know? There lies a beauty and ugliness of religion. All attempts to answer great mysteries of life from a one-way mirror. That's a good quote. Global consciousness. That's wow. That's really poetic. No, I agree. So that's the thing. Like, religion is used in ways to explain the mysteries of life, right? I think like people say, well, does this mean like we should like throw away all science, you know, kill religion, stuff like that? Well, I still think. I don't believe, personally, I don't want to, my personal belief is I don't think that there's like some dude floating around in the cloud, you know, chucking lightning bolts or nothing like that. I don't believe in that, but I do realize that there are things I don't know, and it's foolish for me to even to conceive that I know. Like if I talk to if my dog came in, well, my old dog came in, my dog couldn't understand what a doorknob is, right? Like, it's just I just have this magic paw that kind of waves around the door and it magically opens, right? So, like trying to explain particle theory, physics. I mean, sorry, what is it? Just physics to my dog wouldn't make any sense because he can't fathom it. And maybe that's the way the idea of whatever God or is or whatever this existence is, you know, we can use quantum mechanics and kind of, you know, not quantum mechanics, quantum physics to just kind of figure out how the world works or the universe works and trying to guess, you know, but it's all just guessing. We don't know. But so I don't know what's out there or if there's a reason for it all to be out there or anything like that. So it would be foolish of me to say that this is the right path, this is not the right path. All I know is that, you know, there are positive things about religion, like, you know, it's, you know, giving people moral compasses to help survive. Like some of these things is what, you know, kept people together faced with great obstacles, like slavery or you know, just how to prepare food so they don't die, you know. But these kind of lessons, you know what I mean, or about that kind of got us through it all, right? But you have to understand that also too, that back then we were basically monkeys. like we were really stupid, you know. We thought the Earth was flat. Well, most of us still think it's. Some of us still think it's flat, but we were really stupid back then. And that should be, you know, we try to cure diseases with leeches and bloodletting and whatnot. You know, we didn't wash our hands for doing any sort of like surgery or anything like that. You know, so we were very stupid. But you have to understand too that we're also, there is a spiritual side to us, I think. So there is benefit in religion, I believe, like for your soul, you know, for us coping and thinking about, not coping, but to walk this journey that is life, right? To find a little bit of meaning. There's a little bit of psychological things that helps by having a religion, belonging to something. It's kind of like how, you know, you find your tribe, you find your nerd tribe, you know, you find your sense of belonging. People find their religion tribe, and that's their sense of belonging. You know, it's like they're Marvel DC, right? So there are lots of life lessons that you can learn through religion, you know, but it gets twisted, unfortunately, and that's the sad part, because this is a beautiful thing, you know, you don't see animals with religion, you know. It's a very specific magical human thing, like music or language, you know, things like that. It's something special. So with all special things, you should, you know, understand, not respect it, but appreciate it. But at the same time, like, yo, that's be able to say, look, this is stupid. This part is stupid. This is besides the point. When you start getting very what is it? When you start reading things literally, you know, like pulling ribs out of people and making it into people, you know, that part, you know, I'm pretty sure it's not true. I don't know. Who knows? It could have been an alien that came down and then pulled out rib, then spliced the DNA into some monkeys, and then all of a sudden, you know, it got us, and then, I don't know. It could be that. Who knows? I don't know. There's no way to know. Man, this has been a long-ass rant. But the thing is, there are benefits to religion and belonging to something like that. But at the same time, science is good. So, where am I going, dude? Where am I going? Wow, deep discussion here. Yeah, I was fleshing out some story ideas for some drawings, and the next thing you know, I'm doing all this. What happened? Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, I like science. Sorry. I think that was, you know, like my parents are, you know, they got a limit about time. Not much time left. And they're super religious. Well, my dad wasn't super religious, but he's more religious now. But my mom was super religious, you know. And I think when I came to the decision I wasn't going to go to church anymore, it was very upsetting to them. They still, you know, want me to go and do all that stuff. But the way I looked at it was like, look, if God can't understand, get me, he's like, look, God knows, if God's God, then he knows I'm not trying to do anything bad. I have people's best interests in heart. I'm trying to make a difference with what I can do. I'm trying to be the best person I can, but sometimes I fail, you know? And if whatever creators out there can't understand that then there's a problem, you know what I mean? So I try to live my life the best I can and try to help others. And also, you know, be a good person, right? And that's all I need. Of course, you can go into like church and then get kind of rebuild, you know, kind of get that pep talk and get back out in there in the world, stuff like that. But I don't think I'm any better than anybody else because of the way I pray. I think that was the biggest lesson that kind of got me out of it. It was like I knew people that were lots of different religions and whatnot, and I was like, this person is a good person, and I don't believe that this person's doomed to damnation just because they don't pray the same way I pray. You know what I mean? And it got me thinking, you know. And I think also too that when you're little, you're a cup. We'll say you're a cup. I got a cup right here. So your cup of what fills you up mentally and spiritually and all that stuff is, we'll say it's like half this size, right? So it doesn't take much to fill it up, right? You know, but now, you know, as an adult man, it takes a lot more to fill this cup, you know. So through your life experiences, through your knowledge, through your education, you know, your cup gets big. So all the little stuff that used to keep me interested kept me believing as a kid, it takes a lot more than that now. I like science, you know, I like other people. All I know is that I try to live my life, oh my god, sorry, just try to live my life the best I can and try to help others and stay in my lane. It's not my job to tell other people how to live their lives, right? I think that's where people get in trouble, because while they're trying to tell other people try to tell other people how to live their lives, is because that equals power. It equals opportunities, resources, things like that, and that's how people twist religion. You know what I mean? Because saying I'm descended from heaven, I'm descendant of God line, whatever, right? One of God's representatives on earth. So you need to listen to me and give me the resources and let me choose because God told me to. And there's no way you can prove it, but you're descended from the heavens. And you know, people abuse that. But religion also kept people together. You know, it kept a lot of people. It helped people through hard times, and also binded people together when they were, you know, the pack was threatened, and you need to get together. So I don't know, man. Why the hell am I talking about religion? I don't even know. Don't listen to me, people. I'm just an old cat. This is what happens, I think, when you get old. You start thinking about this stuff. I think when I was young, when I was just getting out of college, you're like, oh, Tony, you're gonna be this amazing artist. You know, you can do all this stuff. And I'd be like, but what do I paint? What do I draw? And people try to point me in all these different directions, and then I realized later that I didn't have something to say. I was too young. You know, you can't. When you're too young, not too young, but you can still be young, but I didn't have enough life experiences, right? And so now it's weird. Like now I've got the life experience, but you're so beat up a little bit, and you don't have the what is it? You know, like not energy, but the kind of the whatever that spark is. Just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do it. You know what I mean? That kind of dies down a little bit. So you got things to say, but now the difference is now you're a little bit battle weary, right? It's harder to pull yourself up again and then start making stuff because now you're a little bit more jaded. You know, a little bit like, why bother? So it's finding that balance. You know, you gotta coax cooks people out. I guess talking to you guys actually helps me a lot too. It keeps me accountable and makes me want to make stuff. Like, I was gonna leave the stream off today, and I was like, well, let me just stream. Let me just stream because, you know, I know that you guys would probably, you know, talking things out actually helps me in a lot. So yeah, I promise, folks, we will be drawing a lot more in the future. We will be drawing a lot more in the future. So, but you can see, like, I've been working on some ideas and whatnot. So, I've been working. It's coming there, you know. I think you realize over time, you realize what your process is a little bit. Like, it could be a situation where you're like, okay. So I learned a long time ago how my brain works. It's like, I'll think of an idea, and then I'll have to like sleep on it, or I have to put it in the back of my mind, and it'll keep rolling in the background, and then suddenly, later, it kind of clicks in, and you're like, oh yeah, I know how this works now. You know, it's kind of like that. So, if that makes sense, I hope that makes sense. But it's kind of like that, where ideas are there. I just have to let it chill for a while, and then all of a sudden you just go, ugh! You throw up all this stuff, and then you're good to go again. So let's see what's on the chat. Yeah, wars. That's stupid. It's not about the religion. But the thing is, when you get into religious zealots, that's where it gets kind of scary, because they think that stuff's real, but they're just fighting over resources. It's a shame. So, nice to keep the communication. Yeah, it's fun. I'm still stuck on that nano machine idea. You have a great thing. I think the nano machine one is good. It's kind of interesting. It's fun. Like, I wanted to make something kind of a shonen kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I just gotta flesh. So it's cool. We got two kind of stories now that we can flesh out. So, and then remind me, I want to talk about webtoons. I think I'm going to release some of the stuff on webtoons. So Rainbow that's fun. So we got those two ideas, and then we have our just regular comic strip stuff where it's just Joker today. So I think that's how we're gonna. So we got two proper comic ideas, and then we got the comic strip stuff. Oh my god! We actually got a lot of stuff we gotta do. So you get craft the last for if you look people make. Oh, interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, I'll have to. We'll work it out. Oh, okay. So let's talk about webtoons. So I've been thinking a lot about webtoons. So I've been kind of doing some research and learning about that. So I think I'm going to release these on webtoons as well as on my own site. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think there's a lot more chances to get. I think we have what's going on here on YouTube, where I can show the process of what I'm thinking and make all that stuff. And you can see me actually making comics live. And then we have, we can put stuff on webtoons, and then we put things together and make books, which is good. Yeah, I know. Like, I was not against it at the beginning, but I've seen things like this pop up every once in a while. But this is the first time I've seen they got their stuff together really good. That's what I'm trying to say. It seems like this time it's different. It seems totally different, because there's been many things like webtoons over the last 10 years. Not 10 years, more than that. Maybe last 15 years. People are trying to make something like webtoons. So when webtoons started popping up, I was like, it's one of these again. But I don't know, this time I'm thinking, this is different. This is different. So, it's based off of Line, the app company, Korean app company. And yeah, they got deep pockets, and it looks like they're pushing it. So they're the how much they pay out is not much, but that's okay. I'm thinking what I would do is I'd link stuff, because you can link it to a Patreon. You could do stuff with that, but I think it's mainly about, I'm looking at it as mainly advertising, or kind of helping get a bigger audience. And I like the community. It seems like it's really cool, and I think there's a lot of chance to grow, because there's not as much competition. I don't know. I could be wrong, but the thing that makes us different is that we do have YouTube, and we can leverage it to our advantage. So, but yeah, I'm thinking YouTube and Webtoons might be our direction. And then we'll compile these different episodes into books. Twitch? You really think I should get on Twitch? Like, every time I'm on Twitch, there's nobody there. Like, I'll stream for like 3 hours, and people pop in and go back. I'll be drawing something and nobody. Zero. But I think once we get, I don't know. Oh, but YouTube doesn't like when you make the short videos saying you're on Twitch. It actually works against you, unfortunately. Yeah, there's been some research showing that they actually penalize you. Because if you leave the platform right after a video, which is basically what happens with that, then they call it session termination or something like that. I don't know, but YouTube wants you to stay in YouTube, and they penalize you if you get off YouTube through a link going off Twitch. They're a lot more lenient about it a couple years ago, but now because of the algorithm, they don't like it, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would probably do it. I'd be doing that now a little bit more, but that's okay. I think I don't know. It's weird because I saw something recently that said that if you really look at the market share Twitch has, it's really not that big, right? So it might not be worth me going to Twitch, at least now. Maybe I'll do gaming stuff on Twitch. Like, I'll game and I'll draw. Well, okay, if things are good here, okay, once I get past the 4,000 hours of watch time, then I can monetize or turn things on. I can get full access to everything, right? Once that happens, then I can go to Twitch. So right now we're at 2,500 hours, so we need 1,500 more hours, which can be done. So, which brings me to something else. I wanted to work on some animation loops. So during the downtime, we can do some chill. I can do some chill hop station stuff, and then I'll pop in. We'll do art stuff. But the whole thing is the stream would keep going, and then I would release real videos. But the thing is, in the background, we'd have a chill hop station, just constantly playing music, doing animation loops. For like I was working out the math last night, so it'd be like, say that, you know how like I did a study with me session, so I would have like a block where it's like, okay, you study with the animation loop, and it has a timer. So it'd be like, say it'd be a 2-hour block, and then I would have the timer for all the people that wanted to study and use it as a study timer thing too. And then I have another version where it's like I make basically a 12-hour loop of music. So say like the animation would be, oh hey, what's up? So say the animation would be say, all right, so yeah, I was drawing some rough ideas during breakfast this morning. So it's like a chill out station, but you know, like two characters are just driving down the beach, down the side of like on the beach. But like as the car's going, the scenery's slowly changing, and it'll change from morning to nighttime, and then back up, and it'll make a complete loop. And I'll show the music, but I would have a animation loop for like a 12 or 6 hour period, showing like small changes in the animation. So I can make like one of those kind of mega long loops, like say we do like one a week or something like that, or once a month, or once every 2 weeks or something like that. That way it can keep going, right? And then we can get the watch time up, and then I pop in, we do stuff like this, we draw comics, stuff like that, and then when I'm done making comics or whatever, it goes back into the chill hop kind of stuff for the people that want to relax and hear the music. So, and then also too, from there I can get other people that I want to collaborate with for music tracks and stuff like that. So we talk about the second channel I'm gonna make. Well, it might not be a second channel. It might be on this channel during the downtimes. I don't know. We're still working it out. But I don't know. I wanted to do a chill hop station for a while now, and the thing is, like, I don't have enough musician people that I know, but I found places I can get cool chill hop music that I can license and play. And then if things get going pretty good, then I'll be able to start accepting submissions from other musicians, and then start playing those tracks too. So my whole thing is, all I have to do is just get the art loops and make the cool animation stuff, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. So I was thinking about what some of the animation loops would be. So one is like a character just drawing, and then it would be like I would take a drawing, like a kind of, it's basically their imagination, but it would be like the bottom of the screen, like let's say like down here in the corner, like would be a character, maybe it's the brown character, and then he's drawing, and you see what he's drawing in his imagination over the whole 6 hour loop, which might be kind of cool. Another idea was you know, stuff like, you know, people driving, chilling, or like I had another idea. What was the other one? Dang it. What was kind of cool? Dang it, I can't remember, but it's in my notes somewhere. So, but yeah, different kind of animation loops and cool music. So the combination of animation and music might be kind of cool. Man, I'm going hoarse. All right, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna get some food. I just kind of want to snack on some bread. I ate all the pineapple. Damn. Okay. All right. I talked this whole damn stream. Oh my god, did I just talk for 2 hours straight? Oh jeez, I almost talked for 2 hours straight, people. Wow. All right, hold on. Let me get some. Let me get some thing to eat, and let me get some water. All right, I'll be right back. I hate my voice. So I'd be very bad for a talk show. I'd love to make a podcast. But I do hate my voice. Oh. Yeah, man. Okay. I mean, drawing lessons are coming. I've been trying to work stuff out. Gonna eat my ice cream sandwich. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it'd be nice to do some more stuff with them. Oh, well, okay. While I'm here. Yeah, I guess we got fired from Stick MV. Maybe I was talking too much shit. Kind of want to play a game. Think we should play some games? I could set up the. I might play some games. Let me No. Nighttime is game time. It was yes. I kind of want to work this out a little bit more. Let me turn on the. I kind of want to do Zelda again, but I keep redoing it. I do like doing it with my animated character though. Well, we do have Spider-Man. We got Street Fighter. Still have The Witcher. What else do we got? We do have quite a few games. The only thing that scares me is if I start playing games, then I should be on Twitch, right? And if I start playing games, I should be drawing. Oh, I don't have Mega Man. I do have Spider-Man though. In fact, it's right here. That's not dirty. Yeah. Spider-Man. No, I've not played Warframe. I heard that's good with a group. I got. Hey, what's up, Eastside Lunatic? Don't know why I did that. really? Wait, what game? So Warframe's for PS4? Do you have Destiny? I have Destiny. Destiny 2, I should say. Oh, Warframe is for everything. Yeah, I think they even have it like on not PS2, like Switch. Oh, you don't have a Destiny 2 anymore. For some reason, I've been wanting to play like a shooter game. Like it's so funny. Like I used to play what is it? Fortnite. On day one, I was playing Fortnite, and then I stopped playing for like 3 months, and then all of a sudden it blew up. Good timing as usual. Apex Legends. Yeah, I have Apex Legends, but I was playing by myself. So, well, not really by myself. I think games like that are better if you have people to play with. Lately, I've been wanting to play things like WoW, just to play with people. Some community thing. And that's kind of the other reason why I was thinking it'd be nice to play Destiny, because it's very like, you know, you get a couple people and you play together, which would be nice. Oh, Borderlands is free on PS Plus, really? Oh. I just feel bad. I really want to play Zelda, and I haven't finished Zelda yet. Okay, if I play Zelda, do I have to stick with my character? My animated character? Because I really, I like that game so much. Ah, okay. Yes, I can. Actually, if you have a question, tell you what. I've been very bad today. Been very bad. So, here's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so, if you have any art questions, as long as I answer like one good art question, I think I will have done most of my job for today. So, I'll answer an art question or art problem, and then I'll kind of lock in. I might not talk as much, but I'll start working on some of these comic things, because it takes me, I have to concentrate a little bit. But I'll keep the stream going so you guys can talk amongst yourselves. So let me have an art question. See if I can help you out. Relaxing indie game would be nice too. What is a good way to concentrate on art, like exercise and such, get you in the groove? Okay. How do I do it? Okay, I think half of the battle is to show up, right? And to draw anything. So this is why I like drawing boxes to warm up, to just get me started, right? So we'll go, which one shall we do? This one? Oh. Okay, so this is why, maybe this is not the best one to use. Hold on. Me's a thinking. How did I do? Anyway, so a good way, I think, to approach, to approach art, I mean, to get you in the flow, is you have to kind of warm up. You gotta think of it like exercise, or like you're doing like a sport or something. I think warming up is a really good way to get yourself in the right frame of mind to like, okay, now it's time to draw. And I think this is what's important about sketchbooks. I'm really, like I said, you guys know me already how bad I am about sketchbooks, because I'll draw on all this random paper, and I should really be putting it in a sketchbook. Anyway, so warming up by doing things like I do boxes. It's warming up my hand-eye coordination. It's getting me in that kind of creative mood. So like sometimes during some live streams, like I'll just sketch around for like an hour or two, or like an hour, and then I jump into like a drawing. So like when we did the Dr. Robotnik drawing the other day, we'd been talking and we'd just been sketching around drawing, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I think who was it that said it? Who was it that said? Oh, do I have notes from that? No, I don't have notes from that. Anyway, but it was just like, hey, can you, let me just draw this for you. So then I drew Dr. Robotnik, and it came out, pretty fast. It's because I was already, I was already warmed up, and let's find the camera. I was already warmed up and good to go. It wasn't really hard to do because we're already there. So finding whatever it takes just to get your hand going, then just draw whatever. It could be scribbles, doodles, whatever. You just have to be moving your hand and just moving your hand on the paper, just on paper. Just anything, and then get into the drawing from there. Because if I were just going cold right now and start drawing, I might not be there. The drawings might not come out the way I want it to. But if I do some kind of warm-up exercises, so boxes, circles, gesture drawings, anything you can do like that, I think will help, personally speaking. So warm up. Don't care. You don't worry about what it look like. It's warm up. You can throw them in the garbage and burn them if you want to. It doesn't matter. The whole point is just to get your hand and your mind in the right place. And then when you're ready to move on to your real drawing, you're already ready to go. It's kind of like when I draw something and then I have to draw the same thing over again the second time. Usually the second time comes out better. It's a little bit different for ideas, but usually the second time comes out a little bit better. Hope that helps. The circle's warmed up, has it? Oh, did it help you? Oh, good. Cool. I was wondering if there's some hand. Excuse me. Extras for body structure and amateurs. I have quite some drawing skills, but lack a body. I don't have time to practice traditional body recently. Okay, that's telling you, man. Boxes and cylinders. So another thing that's really good about me doing boxes and cylinders is by doing this, I kind of get used to what proper body proportions are like, right? Because I'll just draw a really loose one right now. See, I didn't warm up. Now I'm gonna explain this in a second, why this is good. Now the cool thing is about boxes and cylinders is you don't have to get into, you know, the like, oh, the rib cage is here, and you know, working out the muscle types and all that. You don't have to worry about all this part yet. All we're trying to do with this is understand what feels balanced. So when you draw something, let's say we do something kind of a more of a dynamic pose, right? And of course, this is not after I've warmed up or anything like that, so it might be a little bit janky, so I apologize in advance. And there's a problem with only doing dynamic poses, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Some volleyball player trying to hit a ball or something like that. So the point is, what I'm trying to say is, you don't have to worry about all the muscles and all that kind of stuff you have to remember, right? You can easily do some boxes to simulate what is happening. I don't know why I'm drawing volleyball players, but trying to reach for it. I don't know. Anyway. Anyway, by knowing roughly how to make these kind of armatures, I mean these block figures, you get a better understanding of how the body works. And you don't have to focus too much. Ooh, somebody doing some stretches. But by doing these kind of weird, you can kind of see, like, you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, by just doing these simple exercises, you can have a better idea of how to place somebody into a space. And you can see these kind of gestures don't take that much time to do. So it just becomes more fluid and natural over time. Oh, it's getting dark there. So it doesn't seem so mysterious. But of course, understanding the muscles is really important. But having this first initial understanding about where things go is super, super important. So, I mean, while you're learning all the muscles, you'll have a good idea of what the balance is and where things should go. Get my muscles mixed up. Wait, it goes. Oh, my perspective's off. Anyway, but having a rough idea of where everything goes, you know when things are off, because you've done so many boxes that you go, okay, that bit's wrong. Let me look at it again and see if I can solve the problem. Even if it's a super dynamic pose. Yeah. So technically, I did draw something. I did draw something today. So I answered 2 questions. Not too shabby. All right. I guess let me get to work. So I'll just leave it on. If you guys gotta go, that's cool. I'm just gonna be in this realm. So I'll put on the no mic notice. And what else? Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, you know what? Let me see something. All right, before I split, let me see. Chat. Okay. Put this one up. Oh, yeah. And I'll hide the chat. Cool. And cool. Okay. I'm gonna leave this running. Let me test. Cool, yeah. All right. So I'll be checking out, I'll be looking at manga for reference and stuff like that. But yeah, this is what's up. Cool. Hopefully it helped.
once again. Foreign memories, lightning man. Don't you worry, it's gonna be alright. 'Cause I'm the judge and jury, and we'll be up all night. You better check for pose. You better check for pose. You better check for all the bad things love can bring, all in the blind spot that we don't see. Wipe the dirt from your face, dry your eyes, and I'll play the AIDS. Ride along, there's a place where you belong. Shake your ass, don't you worry about the future, about the past. You will hurt the ones that love you, and they will hurt you right back. Sing along, our love is a heart attack. You better check for pulse. 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 So check for pulse. You better check for pulse. If it's goodbye, well, don't miss out. Head up high, come on, wave your flag. We're all in this without a clue. In the madness, but what can you do? Ride along, there's a place where you belong. Shake your ass, don't you worry about the future, about the past. You will hurt the ones that love you, and they will hurt you right back. Sing along, our love is a heart attack. Just ride along, there's a place where you belong. Shake your ass, don't you worry about the future, about the past. You will hurt the ones who love you, and they will hurt you right back. So sing along, our love is a heart attack. You better check for pose. You better check for pose. You better check for pose. till break of dawn. Baby, it's the two of us. I know you won't let me down. Sure you won't forget about me.
Sorry, I had the mic off. What year was this? 2010. I think I am going to take a break. So, I'm gonna take some time off, take a break. Just want to say thank you guys for coming to the stream. I'll get back on later, but I think I need to take a little break, maybe take a nap and make some dinner, or lunch, I mean. So, yeah. So, good talking with you guys. I had a really good conversation in the beginning. Yeah. I guess that's it. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna catch you guys later. I'll come back and stream a little bit later, perhaps. Alright, we'll see. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and bye-bye.